Hello, Instagram family. We're setting you up here so we can see that properly. We are now on Facebook. Also, waiting for that YouTube. YouTube is there. Hi, Anna. See, I'll wave at you. I waved at you there. Somebody on Facebook, let me jump over. Always forget to jump over and look at Facebook so I can see what is going on there. Mike, you so silly. Hi, Anna. All right, we got Christy on Facebook. We got Mike and Anna on Instagram. Give just a couple minutes here to let a few other people join, possibly. If not, that's okay. Today is a good reminder. What we're going to talk about this morning is a good reminder. So I'm excited. How you guys doing? Mike, how you doing today? You doing all right? Christy, how you doing? I know how Anna's doing. I keep talking to her, but Anna, you can tell everyone else how you're doing. Is everyone doing okay though? Mike's good. Got my gravity hoodie on. That's what I need. Some more Lecrae in my life. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started. We try to keep these somewhat short. I am going to get a schedule out today. I will get that created. I will let our new social media director work on that. I don't know if you guys have been seeing those stories, but those have been fantastic. Our social media person, I'm not good at it, so part of being at least a step in being a good leader is trying to find the right people to do the right things. So I'm not good at social media, and so we're getting some help there. But we'll get a schedule out to you. But just so you know, when you're watching this or seeing this later, again, we'll get a schedule out. Nothing this afternoon. Tomorrow at 5, we will do our lesson. Wednesday, we have the 7 p.m. Villa Live, so we're not going to compete with that. There's no reason to. Thursday, we're going to take a break this week. Then Friday, we're going to have game time. And so I'm floating some ideas of what that game time looks like. Might depend on how many people show up, and we can kind of decide how that's going to work. So I'm excited about that. If it can work, we'll look at some ideas on Friday. Saturday, prayer time. Sunday, we'll go back and do our regroup. I know our 110 Connect. We didn't do that this last week, but that's, it was Easter. Hopefully you guys had fun with your family. So this morning, just really want to bring to you a chapter to read, a challenge to read, really. I will kind of talk a little bit about it. Hebrews 12, and it just is, it's a great reminder. And sometimes I think we need to be reminded of this. And so Hebrews 12:1, it starts off with, but it ends with this. The second part of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1 says, "Let us lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us." And the chapter continues to go on. And so my challenge for you is to go read Hebrews 12. It's not a very long chapter, but it is a fantastic chapter. Hebrews chapter 12. And look, so we've spoken about it. We've talked about it before. The Christian life is a race. It's a struggle. It's a challenge sometimes to fight and live this life as Christians and constantly being bombarded by temptation, being bombarded by sin, being bombarded by anything that would take our mind and attention off of Jesus. And so we have to fight. We have to push through. We have to run with endurance. We have to be patient. It's not a sprint. I know you've probably heard that. The Christian life is not a sprint. It is um, it's a marathon, and it's a long race. And sometimes we trip and stumble, but we get back up and we continue fighting and we continue trying and we continue pushing through. And sometimes we go through spots where it's really painful, and we have to just keep fighting through those spots and keep pushing through when it hurts and when it's hard and when it's a challenge. The very next part of verse 2 says, looking to Jesus. And every time I read Hebrews 12, which obviously, it's a passage that I read a lot, and maybe you have too. But every time I read that, looking to Jesus, I think of Peter stepping out of the boat, and he's looking at Jesus and everything's working. And then as soon as he takes his mind off of Jesus onto something else, he starts sinking. And so I just think that we need to constantly be reminded and constantly try to remind ourselves that we need to continue fighting, continue running with endurance, continue pushing through. And the focus should be Jesus. It shouldn't be ourselves. It shouldn't be our own wants and desires, what we think we've earned, what we think we deserve, but it should be him, and it should be his goals, and it should be his plans. And those things, I fully believe, will bring us the best life. I think that they will bring us the most encouragement. I think that they will give us the most excitement. I think that we see many times that Jesus says, like, I came to make you complete. I came to make you perfect, that following me will make you do that. And that even in that, your joy will be full. Your joy will be complete. And so I don't want to get super crazy deep, which I could here, but I just think it's important for us to be reminded, Hebrews chapter 12 this morning, that the race that we're doing, the life that we are participating in as a Christian, takes time. It takes energy. It takes effort. And sometimes it's very hard. And sometimes we need friends to help us along. Sometimes we need reminders. Sometimes we need encouragement. I think of those racers. There's a commercial back in the day. I don't remember where it was or what it was for even, but I remember the commercial itself, and it being that there was a marathon and everybody had finished, and the people were there to clean the marathon, and they were cleaning up the starting line. They were cleaning it up. I mean, it's been that long, right? They were trying to clean it up, and one of the cleaners saw a guy still running, bloody knees, sweat, just looked so bad, but he was trying to finish the race. And it caught me, and it's just when I first saw it, and I'm trying not to get emotional right now, but they put everything back. All the workers stopped what they were doing. They stopped cleaning up, and they put the sign back up. They did that, and then they made a line and just clapped for him as he went across that finish line. And I imagine Jesus doing the same thing for us. I imagine we needing to be friends doing the same thing for our fellows when we're struggling and when they're going through. It's just to stop and cheer for them, and to keep them going and to encourage them. Maybe give them a drink. Maybe, get them excited again about that race. And so we need to do that for each other. It is a race. It is a competition. It is hard. Satan is fighting against us. And so we need to be reminded that it's okay when we mess up. I know the prodigal son story that we listened to yesterday is a good reminder of that. If you don't know, RT spoke on that, yesterday during service, during Easter service. And so, it's a good reminder that even when we struggle, even when we make mistakes, God is there, and he's there to run to us. He's there to encourage us and uplift us. So it is a race. Hebrews chapter 12, read it. Be encouraged today. Doesn't matter if you're messing up. Doesn't matter if you made mistakes. You can continue doing what's right. You can change courses now. So obviously, we'll probably talk about Hebrews 12 again sometime, but go read it, check it out, and let's run. Let us together as a group run the race that we have set before us. I love you guys. If you need anything, please reach out to me, and I'll do what I can to help. And if not, I'll find somebody else that can. All right, that's part of the leader part. So I do love you, and I miss you guys. I can't wait to hang out with you guys again. Bye.